Hello and welcome to the Evercade Retreat. Gene Joke here, and today I'm adding Alien Breed to my ever-growing list where I rank every Evercade game ever. Alien Breed was released in 1991 for the Amiga and can be found on the Team 17 Collection 1. It was quite obviously heavily inspired by the Alien film franchise. Now, I have heard that Team 17 actually reached out to 20th Century Fox, the owners of the franchise at the time, about either getting a license or checking it would be okay to be so inspired, and they kind of got a green light or something without actually having the license. At least that's the story. I heard it on the internet, it must be true. Anyway, the game itself is essentially a fusion of the Alien franchise and the arcade game Gauntlet. You have the top-down view, the multi-directional shooting, and you have keys to access new areas. Although I would say that's where the similarities end. It definitely takes a different angle on that style of game. The story takes place in the year 2191, where humanity has expanded beyond the solar system. The protagonists, Johnson and Stone, members of the Interplanetary Corps, are sent to investigate a derelict space station, the ISRC-4, that's gone silent. On arriving at the station, they discover it's been overrun by hostile alien life forms. Their mission is to survive, gather intel, and destroy the station to prevent the alien threats from spreading. No, not familiar at all. Yeah, it's a very generic plot, but that's all it needs. And at this point I should add that on the Evercade, it's not Alien Breed we have, it's the Alien Breed Special Edition, which was released in 1992, and it increased the level count, weapon count, and added a few little touches here and there. I played Alien Breed on the Amiga back in the day, and I honestly couldn't tell you if it was the standard or special edition. My version didn't come with a box or manual or anything, just a floppy disk with some marker pen on it. Anyway, I never got far enough into it to tell if there was a difference. I only got a couple levels in because the game was rather tough. Anyway, let's get into the meat of the review. Let's start off with the graphics. Graphically, it's quite a decent game, being that it's a top-down view. There are limits to what they can do. Your main sprite is fairly basic, really. The environments are a little bit repetitive, but they do have a very sort of cold metallic look, which suits the atmosphere the game is going for. The aliens themselves look the part as well. As for the sound of music, well, there isn't a lot of music and nothing in game really. The limited amount of sounds and the atmospherics really help the atmosphere. The gun sounds are suitably futuristic sounding. The alien screams sound like alien screams, I suppose. The voice that talks to you has a very calm, robotic tone to it. I'm pretty certain it's the same voice as is found in Project X. While I wouldn't say the graphics and sound are amazing, they certainly more than do the job and set the scene well. And that's key, because this game does lean heavily into the atmosphere. Now on the gameplay front, it's a bit of a mixed bag. While it is a bit like Gauntlet on the surface, there are significant differences. While there are health pickups and treasure or money pickups, the money has a use. You can use it at computer terminals to buy upgrades, improve your weapons, get a map, buy sets of keys, and so on and so forth. And it's worth noting you'll probably want those keys, as well as the power-ups. Did I mention the game's difficult? Well, the aliens will constantly respawn. The keys are quite limited, and if you muck up, you can quite easily softlock yourself by not having the keys you need to access the areas you need to go to, because there's often more doors to be unlocked than there are keys to unlock them. Learning the layout of the levels is pretty essential, so this will be the last of the Gauntlet comparisons I make. But if you play it like a Gauntlet game, or expect it to be like a Gauntlet, it's going to disappoint you. While it has action, and the action is pretty good, it's not about the action. It's about the mission. It's about the atmosphere. It's about killing aliens and trying to escape the level alive before the whole damn thing blows up. Each level essentially plays out like an Aliens movie. Search the level, kill aliens, find an objective, and then get to the exit. But once you find your objective, which might be destroying something or collecting something, there's usually some kind of explosion coming, a self-destruct sequence if you like, which gives you something like 60 seconds or 90 seconds to get to the exit, or to the left to progress to the next level. And if you don't know where you're going, you're probably going to be caught in the explosion and die. All in all, that can make for a very tough and frustrating game, but it can also make for a very satisfying and rewarding experience, effectively reenacting alien movies on a small scale for each level. Oh, and did I mention it has 2-player co-op? I didn't, did I? Well, I completely forget that because I have never ever played it in co-op. I really should try that at some point. Anyway, overall the game is long and challenging and it can be frustrating, but for the right person it's a really good experience. Now, I happen to be that kind of person, but I can see the frustrations and understand why some people would struggle with this game. Something that might help a lot of people enjoy this game more than the actual experience is playing it as intended is using the cheat codes. You can look them up online and they'll give you invincibility, unlimited ammo and keys and things like that, and they can make life a lot easier and more enjoyable. But they can also ruin the experience because you're cheating yourself out of the tension and excitement of playing it properly. But hey, you play it your way. So placing it on my overall ranking list, I'm placing it above Ironclad but below Missile Command Arcade, which might be a lower placement than some of you might have expected from me, because it is a game I have a lot of nostalgia for and I really enjoyed playing through it again on the Evercade, or finally beating it for the first time. But since beating it I haven't felt any inclination to go back and play it again, although I may at some point. The sort of tense atmosphere and challenge of it makes it one you've got to be in the right mood to go and play. Anyway, I think that about covers it for this video, so thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.